What's going on, guys? Niko here, and in this video, we are going to be breaking down 10 different tips for you to use to help you improve your melodies and make your music stand out. If you're a music producer or songwriter out there looking to write better melodies, I highly suggest you watch this video from start to finish so you don't miss out on anything. And with that being said, let's get to work. All right, so the first step when we are trying to make catchy, good melodies is getting a chord progression in line. So I have my chord lineup right here, which has the 7 chords in the key of C major and A minor. So I'm going to select them and drag them over. Now, guys, I have other videos breaking down what the chord lineup is, but bear with me and you'll see how effortlessly easy it is to make good melodies with these 10 tips. Now, here's our chord progression right here. I have an A minor, F, C, G major chord, very popular Elenium chord. I'm just going to drag this C up because it's down low. Let's listen to this real quick. Good chord progression to start. The one thing I want to do is I want to take the thirds and octave jump them, which I'm going to get into a little bit later with melodies. Let's take this and bring it down. So here's our progression. All right, that sounds great. Now what we're going to do next is bring in our melody starters. So I'm going to pull up my keyboard and put it right here for you real quick. Now, it's going to be labeled 1 through 7. So in the key of C major, when I walk up the scale, these are the 7 notes that repeat over and over again in the key of C that we can use to create melodies. So if we think about it and study the most popular music, there are similarities between the sequences of notes that actually took place. So for example, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 1, 1, 4, 5, 7, 1, 5. I studied all these songs, guys, and I've come up with these melody starters being the most popular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the 2, 3, 5 and the 5, 6, 1 over here. Let me get rid of this piano real quick. Let's drag this over. Let's drag it here again. And let's play these along with the chord progression that I came up with. I'm going to join this all together now. So here we go. And this is a little bit boring, but it's, again, giving us hopefully some inspiration to start off. And again, you can download these guys at pianoforproducers.com. It's in the description. You can get the melody starters, all my MIDI, and everything else. So here we go. I've doubled this thing right here. And the first trick that I want to show you guys in this is called note doubling. Not what I did there per se, but let's say, for example, we play through this melody. It's already sounding pretty catchy because we're using really good melody starters. What I do with this note right here is I'm actually going to double it. So notice it took up 2 of these boxes. Now there's going to be 2 notes per box. I call them mini measures. And I want to double it here too. I think that would sound good. So this is tip number 3. We start off with the chord progression, melody starters, and then note doubling. And again, I can use these notes right here, guys. I can mess around with any of these notes and change the melody starters as I go, which we're going to get to. Next one, quick grace note. This is something that Avicii does in his music a lot. And what it is you take the note right before this note and you repeat it. So there's these 2 notes. You take this note here and you repeat it right, where'd it go? You repeat it right before the next note. So if we just listen to this quick segment right here, see that? Dun, that's what I call a grace note in music theory, or I call it also a repeat note. Okay, that's number 4. The next one, octave jumping. You can take certain notes and mess around jumping them up an octave. Now, it may not sound completely good, and we may need to adjust some of these notes, but let's see how it sounds from the beginning. I'm going to octave jump these, and these may be a little bit too high, so I'm going to take everything and bring it down an octave. Let's see. So I think the notes should go down and then should go back up, some directional movement here. And this is not part of the tips, but let's see. Let's drag this up to a different white note. So we're now going, let's bring this down to a C. All right, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. So this right here is 5, 6, 1. We've now done 1, 6, 5 on the repeat. So here's our melody thus far. So I just messed around with the notes a little bit there and used a couple different tactics, and we already have a great melody going on. So the next thing I want to talk about is call and response, which is actually going on in this melody right here. We have the call, and then we have a response. So basically the notes in call and response are pretty interesting because you could have one melody that sings. So this is the melody that's like singing right now, right here. Call, and then response. Call, and then response. Again, this is a great melody tactic because we're really just making the listener a little bit more interested, and maybe you want to double these notes here, right? Maybe we do a quick octave jump. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different variables that we can be doing here. Now, let's say, for example, we want to use a different melody starter somewhere throughout this process. Now I'm going to show you guys what I call Arp Heaven. And when we look back to our keyboard, the 1, the 5, and the 1 can be arpeggiated back and forth and sound good in almost anything. I'm going to show you how easy this sounds. All right, so what I've done is I've made an extra layer of this arpeggiated 1, 5, 1 melody starter, and it sounds like this. So I put it high up and I added some reverb to it, but what I'm going to also do to it is I am going to add some tremolo. So if you have whatever you have, an auto panner in your DAW, what this is going to do, it's going to create a melodic added movement to our original melody that we already had right here. So let's listen to this together now. Now you can actually have this as a melody by itself. The BPM is a little bit fast here, and what you can also do is you can go up and down here and just mess around with different notes in the key. It sounds so good. It's a nice atmospheric effect, right? So this is how you're really making your melodies even better from that. And now we're getting into the other melody starters. So that's one other tactic. The next one is tripling. We did doubling here, but what about tripling your notes, right? So this is something that a lot of people don't even know too much about. You could take your note like this and triple it real quick. And this is something that Martin Garrix does in Animals. So where are we? Right here. Make them really quick. It's barely noticeable sometimes. Sometimes it sounds good, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a trick that you guys can use. Maybe we double it again here. Now you can also make this up here a different instrument. It could be a flute, it could be something else like that. I'm just showing you guys more options. So thus far we went over chord progression, melody starters, note doubling, quick notes, octave jumping, call and response, Arp Heaven, tripling. I have two more for you guys here. I'm actually going to get rid of the Arp Heaven so we can focus back on the melody. And from here, what I want to do is I want to reverse into the note. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this, solo it by itself, solo the first note and add reverb to this right here. I'm going to bounce it in place. Actually, I'm just going to bounce this right here. So I'm only going to solo this note. And you'll see the audio come down right beneath it, okay? And let's listen to this real quick. I'm just gonna delete this here. This is not the best way to do a reverse, but it will do the job. Let me just pull this out a little bit. I'm gonna flatten the note here. What I'm doing is I'm bringing a note, sucking it, like sucking the listener into the first note. Let's just listen to this by itself. I'll throw some reverb on real quick. Hollow room, sure, why not? I'll bring this up here so you guys can see it. Let's solo this. Okay, let's listen now. So all I did, guys, is I selected this audio piece. I basically split it up. I bounced this to audio, and then from there, I just faded in the sound pretty quietly. And we can make this even more aggressive, like this. And again, not all these tactics sound good. I'm just showing you guys what's possible here, right? These are just the tips. Now, the last one I want to show you guys is called texture notes. So texture notes can be great because it makes the melody a little bit more colorful with more notes going on. So one example of this is you can use the 1 in the key that you're in. So here we're in the key of C, the 1 is the C. So I take these notes and I basically add more layers to them and I add Cs. So here we go. Let's just listen to this with it. So that just adds a nice texture. Without it, when we add it, so you can add texture notes by using the 1. Let's try this. It sounds good. I like the sound of this. Now, alternatively, if you understand music theory well enough, you can borrow notes from the chords down here and make them texture notes. So our second chord is an F major chord. So if I go here to the second part of our melody, what I can do is I can take these notes and make them an F, which is the root of that chord. Listen in. Not a huge fan of that. I didn't really like that too much, maybe because we're doing too much here. Let's listen in. It doesn't sound great, but the C sounds great, so we experiment a little bit. And your texture note rhythms can follow it if you want. You could just have one note the entire time playing this, and it works great for melodies. So there you have it, 10 tips that took me years and years to discover. So if you found value in that, please share this video, like, comment, subscribe down below, hit the notifications bell, and let me know what else you guys want to learn. If you have questions, leave them down below. I will answer them. And make sure you guys check out all the free MIDI packs, all the free melody packs I offer at pianoforproducers.com. Because I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to give as much value as possible. I want you guys to be successful producers, successful songwriters, successful artists, and anybody else in life that I can help you, let me know. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.